Hello and welcome to another devlog of Glaucus Linux. 2 months have passed since the last devlog. It's been a while, I know. Um, a lot of changes were made. I think a lot of updates as well to the core system packages. It's been a while since I last attempted a bootstrap, and I'll try to hopefully and successfully bootstrap the system live, though I don't think um, it'll work now, since given that a lot of packages were updated, but we'll try our best and I'll try to debug whatever failures we'll face along the way. So let's get started. I believe some changes were made. Yes, like I was working on this lately. By the way, I use this Delta tool to highlight the differences. It gives me just like the GitHub web interface, uh, different, it highlights differences between, or the diffs of the code. So I also have another tool, I believe it was called HLDiff. This tool is written in Nim, and I'm a big fan of the Nim programming language. Some warnings or errors here, I think, but it works, it's more minimal and it works identically to Delta. So anyways, let's see where we're at. So let's attempt a build of the package manager. Sorry, now it's a package builder, as I'm planning to forward the package management part to APK, which is going to take some time. So let's see. So we have a successful build of the package builder. Let's see if it works. Okay. Let's attempt a bootstrap. So this should error out with what we want to run, and let's give it a stage 1. Now we're bootstrapping the toolchain. I think like 3 or 4 months have passed since I last attempted a toolchain bootstrap. Now the design is still the same, but I'm not optimizing the toolchain, meaning that it's only a stage 1 bootstrap, so it doesn't make sense to optimize it yet. However, I do apply some optimizations in certain, since these tools are also generators for stage 2, given that they're the tool chain. So if that makes sense, they should be able to apply some of these optimizations to stage 2 without themselves being optimized for the stage 1. So I do apply some degree of optimization using their configuration flags and not via environment variables. I'll show you what I mean. So if we went here and let's see, so there's an order for building these packages, and we can use this. Okay, so these packages are responsible for building the toolchain. So bootstrapping here happens in order, and let's go with binutils, for example. So this is the info file. Yes, these files are shell scripts. They are POSIX shell scripts. They are portable, and the syntax of the commands, the flags being used, and is hopefully all portable. So this is what I meant by mildly optimized. For example, like you have these options that affect the default linker flags to be used. For example, enable instruction relaxation, which some, if not most linkers, good linkers like mold and LLD, even BFD, the support for the x86 target architecture. We also have the uh, relocation read-only, the separate code, which for as long as I can remember was bugged for musl, libc, but it has been fixed. Um, um, disabling this option, I believe musl crossmake does this, but based on my personal experiments, this option early on used to result in bloated binaries. I don't know why. I tried uh, debugging this later on. I didn't face this issue, but I heard it was fixed. So same thing goes for the read-only segment and the executable stack, which is good to have disabled by default. So uh, this will affect the default flags that are going to be applied to stage 2. So we use some degree as well as like PIC, stuff like that. So let's see. Oh wow, it's fetching stuff. I did not expect that. Should not be fetching anything because I've provided everything. Yeah, this is broken. Okay, so why is it doing that? If I went inside here, I'm using the info file of GCC. Is it not picking this correctly? So for that, let's go to, yeah, it's grabbing GCC again. You know, this is wrong because it should be using the, I believe it should be using the source starboard for GCC. So yes, I'm going to stop this. This is just wrong. For now, like I'm willing to get rid of it and okay, let's see the extent of the damage done here. So I'm going to provide copies of GCC here, and I believe let's do a clean bootstrap. So we can do a bootstrap clean, and then let's try the bootstrap again. It should go past libgcc. The fetch command also prepares the packages. If I recall correctly, it's been a while since I last touched the package builder, so it's going to fetch it again for libstandard C++, so I'm going to disable it now. libstd, okay, and nothing. Okay, so let's grab this here again and let's do a clean. Let's run that again. Hopefully I won't have to do this one more time. I definitely need to fix this. I implemented this change like so I changed the, yeah, this is taking a lot of time. Yes, this change was done on, let's see, okay, January 13th. I need to figure out what's wrong here. And it started building, like it's building. So the order of this isn't quite complicated, but it's critical, so we can save some steps to prevent making this an overly long and complex process. This is actually, I took the toolchain part and made it more modular. Like you can, there's this musl project Chai was working on for some time now. And if it weren't for the contributions made by a lot of awesome developers, it wouldn't have reached the state it is in. And the order, I'm going to show you the order of the commands. So it first installs the headers of musl and uses these to configure, build and install binutils as well as GCC. You know, we need a static version of libgcc so we can configure musl. Not all architectures require this, but most of the relevant or important ones like 64-bit architectures, mainly AMD 64, ARM 64, and I believe RISC-V 64 as well. There are a lot of architectures that require libgcc. I think PowerPC is also one of them, and i686, and a couple for certain like symbols or instructions or whatever. But you need it to configure musl. So you can later on build musl and then continue with the shared version of GCC. You can configure the cross GCC and libgcc dash shared with a single invocation. And this is very similar to what musl cross make does, but they do a lot of jumping. Their process is also quite fast, and this entire script was inspired by their work and by the help I received from Rich Felker, the creator of musl libc. I actually had a bunch of stupid issues open, asking a lot of silly questions, and they were kind enough to answer all of the questions, and so I decided to take the toolchain and make it more modular. So yes, in Glaucus we have an integrated version of musl that is more optimized, but it follows the same structure. So it's building okay, cool. So now I believe we have successfully built bin binary utilities. So we can go over to Toolchain and inspect what's going on here. So let's use our trusty file manager. So let's enlarge this. So like binary utilities installed as expected. We have no use for these man pages and whatever. So originally these were hard links, and I placed them with symbolic links because it makes sense here, and that's what a lot of it's common practice to do. Okay, and it failed. We got our first real failure. So it's expected. I have committed, I'm committed to this now. There's no going back. So let's see what's the cause of failure here. Building GCC with plugin support requires a host that supports FPIC and share. Interesting. So it detected that we are cross-compiling. So I have a bunch of helper scripts that I use. These scripts should come in handy. Let's try to, I believe it was called yes, find error. And then we're building the toolchain. Okay, so configuring GCC failed. Binutils looks okay. Like I've seen these errors a lot, but they're usually not the causes of the some variable command. Not found. GMP configure Lex library undefined to linker. Just printf will assume. Okay, so yeah, this is not the cause. Let's see what kind of changes we actually did to GCC. So I think so GNU stack registry. So enabling plugin support requires that the host, but I mean, isn't plugin support always enabled? Like that's just that doesn't make sense now. Doesn't really make any sense. So I'm going to tone down a couple of configuration options that I changed, though I believe this is the culprit. This is most probably the culprit. And enable plugin. Okay, so let's see if Yeah, sometimes this freezes. Let's go over here. Should be enabled by default, but it's weird that it's not. I also like plugin install. Let's check the error again. Forgot what the error was. GCC toolchain. So it failed at the configuration stage, like, which is impressive because it never rarely fails here, and that means something is just very wrong. So a host that supports all of this. I'm using Arch, by the way. This is a wide, well-known meme now. So, but Arch's GCC definitely has plugin support and has all of these enabled. So I wonder why this is not working. Anyways, let's tone down the configurations. So Toolchain, 1 sec. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. Static pi, ensure. Okay, this was a weird one. Like, I don't remember. Um, I don't think I need a dispatch. I'm going to disable everything that might be problematic, and I'll figure it out later on. Okay. Let's see. No. Okay. And build ID. Linker build ID. Okay. It complained because of these, and yep. Let's do. I don't think we need to run clean because the package builder already does that when you attempt a toolchain build. Sorry. Yes, the package builder already does that. So when you're attempting a toolchain build, it should already do a clean. So yes, I don't think we need to do a clean. But so far, yeah, things are not looking great. 2 errors related to, yeah, let's see what these were about. So I believe they were here. So when we were building these, and it was fetching these packages, it checked for the name of the directory of these packages instead of, yes, that might be problematic. Unless I can turn that check off, or perhaps utilize the name of the linked package instead. But still, it should be using the name of the linked package instead. So yeah, this is the issue probably. It's checking if that directory exists. You know, it kind of makes sense in a way that I think I should create symbolic links for these virtual packages as well, you know, in the sources directory. I'll show you what I mean. Instead of actually, now it's building stuff, but so if we go libc GCC, okay, so I'm going to remove this. What we can do temporarily is we can basically just do like this and LHA libgcc, and it links to that, and we can do the same for libstd this, and then do a libstd c++ -v3, and we can have these two. Oops, okay. So theoretically, like, it should work now. I don't think it's the prettiest of designs. Like, it should know. I'm going to leave thinking about. I just keep redesigning the package builder over and over again without any actual benefits. So I'm let's see. I think the current design is solid enough to handle most of the building. Like, it's battle tested at this point. Like, it's been a lot of bootstrapping has happened over the years, and a lot of packages were built. It's not the greatest package manager. It's not even a package manager. I'm not a programmer, so this is by no way like a stable package builder, but based on, you know, it works on my machine, TM. So uh, it has, compiled and bootstrapped like you've seen in the videos. Like, it has built this a lot of times. So um, there are some rough edges here and there, mainly due to it's been like a couple of months without me testing the bootstrap process, and for good reasons. Like, I was busy in real life, and I was updating packages as well, so breakages are to be expected. I think like it's building fine now. Fingers crossed, like it'll work. Um, yes, let's see what that was about. It's either like let's see what we did here. So we can do this. So it's one of these changes. It's one of these bad boys. So it has to be this patch, I think. Yeah, these are all, sorry, this one. These patches are required for turning on some stuff by default and for fixing uh, some build issues later on. But like for now, I think this was the latest one that I've added. These, I'm, well, like, I'm not going to lie to you. I believe this is the main contender here. Like, this is probably the cause of failure. Let's see what this patch does. I forgot actually. So we have static pi. Um, static pi, RCR, LD spec, F frame header, static pi spec, exception, okay. Yes, I believe it might have to do with this. I actually forgot why I added this. Yes, this was... Did this actually reach upstream or not? Like, I'm still not sure. It's a patch by the great Rich Felker themselves, so... yeah, I'm going to need more information on this. It might be because of the other options that I've disabled. Like the build ID one to save a few bytes. Yes. Anyways, like, I think it's resolved now. But let's see how the build is going to go for the other components. So just to review these, I think I already have. Let's see, info. Oh yes, so the lock exists even if I intend to use the package builder for listing information. The log file exists. This is to prevent foot guns, so painful ones. So I'm going to keep it at that. Let's try checking this. So now it's building a static version of libgcc, and 7 minutes have elapsed. Okay, so if we went, I'm doing a lot of jumping, I apologize for that. But it's been a while since I last tried this, so we're using this static version. Yeah, this is a hard-coded number. Deal with it. This is, you know, to configure musl libc. I need to pass this static library for the arches that I mentioned, and this architecture requires it. So I have no need for the wrappers as well. And these are all placeholders, stubs. Yes, so let's see. It's going smooth. Fingers crossed. This is hopefully a working build. Like as you saw, it's only subtle or minor breakages, because I'm always tweaking these to make them somewhat, you know, safer by default, and maybe even faster. I don't know. There's no proper way to benchmark these. I also don't think it's relevant for earlier stages, but I prefer to keep things like some of the optimizations. I prefer to have them in some of the middle stages, because they are somewhat an indicator for how they'll happen, or they'll be performed in later stages. I'm not talking about the earlier, like stage 0 or stage 1. I also need to get back to updating the documentation, because while we are continuously bootstrapping through the stages, glaucus is very similar to an automated version of LFS with alternatives. So bootstrapability, if that's a word, is very important, and bootstrapping from absolute scratch is on my to-do list. And now that we've we've worked ourselves through an already existing host, which is Arch Linux, and it also works, I think, last I tried on Fedora and LFS as well. We need to okay, so yeah, this is, I hope it's a simple error and not an overly complex one. So let's see what went wrong. This is causing a lot of problems, like this stupid build design that I went with. It's just causing headaches. So cannot compute suffix of object files, cannot compile. Checking multilib, yeah, I have that disabled, doesn't make sense for now. Cannot compute cconfig.log. So which config.log? So wait, so this is, where is it actually? Why is temp empty? Yeah, something is just way off. Yeah, that's what happens when you don't do a lot of changes at the same time. So oh, okay, yes, I should have set up Well, it should be a symlink, shouldn't it? Like, I believe I've already set a symlink for this. This is just beyond stupid. Anyways, please ignore that for now. Let's go inside of this, and then inside of this, and it cloned the entire libgcc tree, and it makes sense it will not work because like it's a different directory, but I think like regardless of that, I'm already doing a cd to gcc, so it should be there already. Unless it's, yeah, it doesn't make sense. So this temp is actually, let's go over here. So this, actually recording and fixing these at the same time. It's, I think, this is actually my first voiced over development log. So let me know if you'd like more of these in the future. And this is as raw as it gets. So please, uh, you know, uh, take that into consideration while also being critical. Yes, let's actually try to solve this. So we got the issue of GCC figured out mostly. Okay. Okay, so this is just we're already doing this over here, and the fetch, I think we can do a search by symbol. So checks for the URL, otherwise it's doing all of these. Like I already added a symlink, or the nym reads like beautifully. Like if you're a fan of Python, like it just reads like plain English. Anyways, let archive source if not verify. We're trying to verify it again. I'm sorry, I keep on jumping, but it is what it is, so please deal with it. This told us to check for this. I actually forgot why I jumped to that directory, so did I? I think we did a libgcc here, and then, oops. Let's try to go here, and then this is just wrong. I'm sorry, this is just, oh yes, okay. Okay, I forgot. Yeah, this is, okay. And it's, like it actually used the correct directory for once. I'm happy about that, but where did the errors occur? So this got passed correctly. The sysroot is correct, like we're using this. I recently made the toolchain relocatable, so it should work even from this directory. Okay. So checking result. Let's try to jump through these. This is not the issue. Loading shell libbfd cannot open shared file. This is a I don't think it depends on libbfd. Like what depends on, this is just weird, but anyways, this is the issue. Cannot compute the suffix of object files. Unrecognized command line option. So, when things are this bad, like you need to get your hands dirty. So let's see. Where was I? Yes, so we navigated here and then we did what was the host? So the host was this. It's not the build system. This was the host and the GCC. And then we ran it this clean because we were trying. Okay, makes sense because you already ran this. Now this is already pre-configured, so all dash target dash the GCC. And if we're lucky, we'll face the same error. cconfig.log. Okay, show me the config.log. Uh, okay, I think I opened the wrong file. This is the same file. The errors are the same, so is it really libpfd? Like, is it really that simple or stupid of an error? Like, I mean, can't be this stupid, right? At this point, like, I've seen almost everything, so let me recall, like, what packages required this. So, libpfd, build cross and binary utilities. Yeah, this is just, I believe it's mostly in binutils. Okay. Well, we're enabling this and then disabling this. I don't think it makes sense to disable it. Okay. It's just, I mean, it's a stupid error. If it was, I don't think it's like this is the reason why it's failing, because like, oh, okay, it can't be it. Now can it? I think I got it. So let's try to run any of these files. Yeah, I screwed up big time. But I think like that's why doing these live helps, sorry. You can see me how I suffer, and sometimes I get to fix these, sometimes I don't. So that was the issue, because these tools depend on libpfd, but like why? Sorry, like this, it may be obvious, but I don't get the reason. Like these were built on the host, so libpfd. Who's actually providing this? Shouldn't this be provided by the host? Oh, okay. Okay. This, if I were to build it again, it's going to fail probably. I have a bunch of things I'm going to test, so it's not related to the BFD that I will produce, because it's not cross-compiled. These are built, the toolchain tools are stage 1, so they're natively compiled on the host with changed, like you see, like we picked up the build, they were configured to produce the cross-compile, but they are natively built, so they still link to glibc, but they produce stuff for musl libc. This actually means that this should be available on Arch. And libbfd, I don't think anything depends on it on Arch. So this probably got pulled because of one of these two options, either enable shared or this. So we actually, like, I know I can go here and then go here and then go here. So you're going to see me write some stupid code. So bear with me. Not code, it's a command, but let's see. So was it actually the shared option? Like, I don't think it's actually the shared option, but whatever. Anyways, so it's one of these. Let's sort them. Like, did we get it or not? So I'm not going to sort this now. Disable dash shared, but okay, let's see. So we broke it. Yes, we broke Tmux again. Hooray! Even Tmux can't handle how fast we are. I'm going to throw it here. I don't want to crash anything by mistake, so let's go over here. And then let's go back in here and let's repeat the find command. Oops. Enable. So these are the packages that are using it. Now, I think like these tools are all, yes, libop codes not found. It's not a BFD issue. You know, you have also packages that depend on libop codes. You know why? You want to know why? Okay. Because when you're producing or when you're explicitly passing enable shared, I think it's going to check for these shared libraries on the host system and link to them instead of using the internal ones or building native ones instead. So, and I think I did this change some time ago. Yeah, we have our culprit. We have our culprit. So I'm going to reverse this change now and it should work. And I'm going to remove this, like, even though this is not the cause, but I'd like to experiment a bit just to rule out all the causes and not to waste your times any longer. So let's do another bootstrap. I can skip this if you want, or we can talk our way through it. It's going to be another 10 minutes before I'm going to take a small break and I'll be back and hopefully it'll have resolved itself. So I'll be right back. Let's pause this. Okay, so I'm back. Actually, a couple of minutes have elapsed. Let's see if the resulting binutils now, like, are these working now? Lep, okay, I can't, okay, awesome. So they're all working and they aren't depending on shared versions of BFD and libbfd or libop codes. So I guess we have a winner. It's going to build fine now, hopefully, fingers crossed. But you saw, like, debugging these issues can get daunting. It could be from silly changes, like I don't even know why I added that change to begin with. So let's see, like, these were for the note sections in the binaries, you know, to save some bytes. This is for the relocations. These are for some security features. Was it the shared host or was it this shared one? Like, I can't remember actually, but given that it worked now, I think it was the main shared one, but I'm going to double check. So was it this one? Build host code as shared live. So this is actually weird. Like I can't actually remember like which ones depended on host shared. Like we need to do a host shared kind of thing and then do a lie. And it's zlib and liberty. So liberty. Yeah, I don't think these are causes of the issue. So it's mostly related to this. And yes, uh, I okay. So here's what happened. Uh, this is very stupid, but it happened. So if you go to BFD and then you check its configuration script, you will find a shared option here that was disabled by default. And when we passed this to the main, when we passed this, you know, to the main configuration script of, I believe it was here. So when we passed this here, it got propagated, you know, given the way uh, Biniutil's build system works, which I've heard that it existed long before AutoTools. Don't quote me on this one. Like it might be older than AutoTools, I don't know. But this got propagated to all the sub projects inside, and not every sub project wants or has this enabled. And it's actually stupid to enable it for like these packages because nothing depends on them. So like if we did a and we did a this, so it's again it's the same issue. Like these are built statically and are used internally. If I recall, okay, so as you can see, it has built correctly. If we go back to the toolchain, I believe even GCC like works now. Okay, that's good. Let's wait for it to complete. So that's a full toolchain bootstrap in around like 12 minutes or so, which I personally think is impressive. I'm not utilizing all, you know, the make compilation jobs. I'm only using 5, you know, mainly for testing reasons, but also I want this to be consistent. And I don't want it to thrash my machine because you know, as of recently, or not recently, but GCC and like the big compilers like GCC and Clang, and when you're building these packages, like a make job uses like anywhere from 1.2 to 1.5 to even 2 gigabytes of memory, and setting it to higher values may use all the RAM on your machine. And why did this fail? This is getting sad. Like really, why did you have to fail? So bad value, final link, recompile with FPIC. Uh, so yes, this also has to be from a misconfigured lib standard C++. And I'll show you the culprits right now. Apparently I successfully misconfigured every working library in existence. So I believe it has to be, is it the, but nothing uses, okay, so I removed this Oh, it could be the... Why did I change the allocator? Like, did I really do that? Can't be that stupid, then. Yes, I'm actually this stupid anyways. Let's... I forgot how to type today, so it has been a long day. Let's do a find error. Find a link failed with a bad value. Anyways, let's go over here and let's do a config.log. Wait, is it also building libc? A lot has changed. Like, I need to track these down and maybe fix these. Like, I already know, like, it uses libcomp for OpenMP and parallelization stuff, but do we need it this early on? Like, I don't know. Anyways, let's see why it actually failed here. So then let's check our errors. So non-existent, override any. Okay, this is our undefined reference to shell load. Okay, this is just, but it can't be that now, can it? I don't think it's that though. What do you think? No, this LD is actually working. And I'm not applying, so it can't be. Let's see if I don't think, cannot find LDLD. What? Wait, what? I swear, like, the more time I spend working on these, the errors just get more and more random. Okay. So I can attempt to reconfigure this here, but I have no idea why I went with these. Probably because they looked good at the time. And I was... Let's see. So I'm going to revert. Well, you know what? I think like it's enough for this devlog. I'll take a break and then maybe I'll try to fix this, hopefully live in another devlog. This is my first voiced over devlog. I hope you enjoyed it. This is a passion project. It's fun. Like, if you call this fun, like, I don't know. So please let me know if you like this format. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in a future devlog.